When I started 3 years ago, people would mock at it and say, don't make it a full-time project. Women can never work together. I think you should not join the community just to learn. I think you should join the community to give back. Either you burn out or you say no.
हाय गाइस, आज के एपिसोड में मैं आपको अपने गेस्ट से मिलाने से पहले ये बता दूं कि ये बहुत ही बड़ी इंस्पिरेशन है टू ऑल द वुमेन लिविंग इन यूएई स्पेसिफिकली, क्योंकि इन्होंने जो कम्युनिटी बनाई है और जिस तरीके का सपोर्ट और वो जिस तरीके की वुमेन एम्पावरमेंट को सपोर्ट करती है वो बहुत ही फैब है. तो विदाउट वेस्टिंग एनी टाइम लेट अस प्लीज़ वेलकम रीमा महाजन. वेलकम टू द फैट किड शो रीमा, जहाँ हम बहुत सारी गपशप करने वाले हैं. एंड आई एम रियली एक्साइटेड टू गेट इनसाइट्स and what's in your mind and how everything started.
Well, thank you so much, Reema, and I think I am really excited for the gup shop. So let's get rolling.
Yeah, before I start, let me tell the audience that the community name is Indian Women in Dubai, and a lot of people who are watching already know her, but let us find out her story more. So Reema, I want to know, how did it all start? I know you get this question a lot, but I'll tell you one thing from the audience point of view. Building a community is much more difficult than becoming a creator yourself. मतलब आप उन सबको जोड़ के रखते हो, वो एक पूरी community बना रहे हो, वो बहुत ही बड़ी बात है.
See, creator बनना it's not an easy job, but it's relatively easier because आपको अपने आप को mold करना है और अपना hard work करना है, and then you become a good creator. Community बनाने में you have to take thousands and hundreds and thousands of people together, so it becomes a much more difficult job, honestly. Correct. So I am a community builder, I am a social media influencer, I am an entrepreneur, right?
Yes.
Different hats, but I think the whole journey started with being a community builder. So from background, I am from IIT Delhi.
Yes.
I am background the padaku bacha, the typical Indian nerd kid at a stage. You can say कि 10th में exam में marks अच्छे आ गए, so the question was doctor बनोगे कि engineer बनोगे. Engineer बनोगे तो IIT की पढ़ाई कर लो. IIT चले जाओगे तो okay, if you really want to work in the corporate world, I think you need an MBA. And in India में MBA करने से there's no other college better than IIM. So that journey was like a nerdy kid journey in India. And then I worked in the corporate world for 10 years. So I've done my 9 to 9 dues, paid my dues of working in the corporate world. But when we were in London before moving to Dubai. So we landed in Dubai about 5 years ago now.
Very new.
Yeah. So we got settled just in time for COVID. And the whole reason the community started was because I'm a social person. I like to make friends. I like to have my own set of girlfriends with whom it's my girl time, basically, right? And I think everybody has their set of friends whom they confide in, whom they like to have fun with. Dubai as a city offers so much of cultural and social things. When you have a good circle, you can enjoy it more. So just like that, when I landed in Dubai, I just made a Facebook group and I said, does anybody want to meet for a coffee? And that's when the first coffee meetup for IWD happened. I actually met a lot of my friends today through IWD, and they came for the first coffee meetup. From then we said, okay, Diwali pe kuch nahi kar rahe hain, chalo Diwali pe bhi mil lete hain. Because Dubai, we're all expats, we don't have families here, we had nobody here other than. So 10 of us met for Diwali. So that's how the IWD journey started. And I think the real IWD today was born during COVID. So COVID, we were all home, we could feel the stress in the system. There was emotional stress, financial stress. Everybody around was looking for a support system. And I think we came forward as a community where we helped the women give social support. Women would come to the community, share their worries and be in it all together, right? Everybody was online at that stage of time. And for 5 months, we did so much of work with the community, like organizing, meditation sessions, Zumba sessions, to give back women that opportunity to be together. And we grew from like a handful of members to 30,000.
Yeah.
And when it hit 30,000, I was like, oh my God, we have created much more than a normal Facebook group, which is when I decided to focus on it full time.
Yeah. Okay, Reema, before we get into community, I have a lot of questions about women empowerment and all. But I want to understand Reema as a person. You said that you've done IIT, say, IIM, say. So it's like every parent's dream more than the child's dream actually. तो मुझे जानना है कि have you ever felt that pressure of proving yourself all this while, or like, you know, when in studies, did you always have that pressure in your mind?
So every kid in India, I think, feels that pressure. Much less now in our generation.
Yes.
We as parents are less stressful to kids. But I think if you're good at studies and you know you can do well, your parents will always want you to do the next best thing, and
True.
you know, and or go to the next best university or be number one in whatever field you are in. And I think some of the pressure is good, because as a child, honestly, I did not know where I
But
wanted
then, as
to
a
go.
personally, did you pressurize yourself to be
No.
the best one?
No. I just go with the flow. I'm like that as a person. I don't stress myself. I want to give my best. I'm very hardworking. I have perseverance that I can do the same thing for months and go after it and not
Correct.
give up easily. But I don't think I pressure myself कि करना ही है. Not
But
me.
as a back of the mind, did you have कि मुझे creator बनना है, influencer
Never.
बनना है? So just everything, you know, I read it somewhere that a lot of businesses came in COVID.
Yes.
And आज भी Shark Tank में अगर आप देखो ना,
Yes.
बहुत सारे COVID में ही शुरू हुए.
Even IWD is a
हाँ,
COVID
yes,
baby,
yes,
right?
yes, yes,
I call
yes,
ourselves a
COVID
COVID
baby.
baby because
True.
that's where the real spirit of the community was born.
Yes.
And no, and honestly, I come from that. You know, all my IITian batchmates are now CEOs, CFOs of
हाँ.
startups, and I have a completely different
Different,
social media
हाँ.
line, right?
हाँ.
I had never thought I would be
Yes.
on social media so public
Yeah.
and you know, so much out there.
Yes.
But I think by virtue of being a community builder, I can only create impact if I tell my story.
True.
And if I don't tell my story effectively as a creator, then nobody will join my community.
True.
So they're kind of interlinked for me. And I think being a community, I really enjoy community builder part. You know, I really enjoy hosting people, meeting new women.
Has your corporate life helped you with this community building
Absolutely.
right now? In what
Absolutely.
ways? Like, what is
So I
something
used
that
to
you
work
really-
at Bain and Company, right? We're a management consulting firm, and Bain, and over the years of corporate life, it drilled a few things into me. The number one was working in teams. You know,
Huh.
I worked across London, India, Singapore, Dubai before stopping. And I think when you work in teams, you learn how to be a team member and a team
Yes,
leader.
and that's one of the
And we need to be
biggest
both
thing
while
in
being community builders,
builder,
right?
yeah.
The second thing I learned was analytics. You know, analytics is like we look at the community, and my, you know, IWD pages are run with a lot of analytics. We have Excel spreadsheets at the back of everything, analyzing number, you know, which promotion did well, which reel did better, which event had
Organization, yes,
all the
yeah.
organization, all
Correct.
the analytics. When do we post in the morning? We look at all of that, right? And the third thing that you know, after team building and analytics comes communication.
Correct.
And the corporate life teaches you a lot of communication, right? Because you have to practice in front of clients, you have to practice in front of international teams, so you gradually grow with it.
Yes.
And I think communication is equally important as a creator,
Correct,
like the
correct.
job we do.
Yeah, so all your corporate life is now into community building and
Yes,
yeah.
definitely using all the
Yeah.
skill sets we learned out there by practice.
But then wasn't it difficult initially to get like women, or even anyone it be, but this is mostly focused on women, to get like different mentality, different thinking people to get together? It is difficult because even in a friend circle of 10 people, 5 will be thinking that
Yeah.
way, 3 will be here and 2 will be above.
Yes.
So it's a very different direction that you have to get them together at any social event as well.
Yeah.
Was it difficult for you?
Yes,
managing
so I
them?
think when I started with the idea, you know, now IWD is a well-known name. It did not exist.
Yes, yes,
A community,
for sure.
or a women-only successful community did not
Yes,
exist.
yes.
There were enough examples of failures that had happened
Plus,
before.
I have seen
Yeah.
a lot of communities which are not focused on just Indian women.
Yeah,
There
was
are a
no-
lot of, and those group I have been to, but they are more other nationality dominant, I would say, wherein there have been times that I felt out of the place.
Yes.
Because I don't match to them, my language doesn't match them, they have their own group formed, and then I'm just sitting there idly. Literally, that has been the case in one of the past events that I've been.
Okay, yeah.
So I really stopped going to these community events. But with you, I have seen, and it's a very different approach. Just having Indian women makes a lot of difference.
Yeah.
Honestly, it makes a lot of difference.
Yeah, I think you relate to each other
Yes.
with the culture and the tradition
Yes.
and the history that we
Yes.
all come together, right? No matter which state, which religion,
Yes.
which caste you come
Doesn't
from,
matter.
we're all Indians at heart.
Yes.
And like जब India cricket match जीता है तो सब
सब
खुश होते हैं,
हाँ,
right?
correct.
It doesn't matter whether we are from North India or South India. Everybody is
Correct.
celebrating India, right?
Yes.
When the the Abu Dhabi temple was open, all the Indians were proud of that
True.
temple coming up. It doesn't matter, right, which
Very
side
true.
of India you come from. So I think being in India Indian, we bring together that spirit of being
Yes.
together. And I think that's what IWD is trying to join
Yes.
together. When I started 3 years ago, people would mock at it and say, don't make it a full-time project. Women can never work together. And I think I'm very proud of the journey we've built now, that we've built the most positive, most
Yes.
supportive, most
Yes.
collaborative community
Yes.
being run by women itself. My whole team is women run. Everybody on the community, we've got like 65,000 women on the Facebook group alone chatting to each other. One woman posts a question, another woman approves the post, the third woman, and at least 20 more women come and answer her. And
Yes.
it doesn't matter which area your question comes from, whether it is which school should my child go to, which doctor can I go to, I am facing this issue, how do I solve it, right? And I think it's this. I think we've just proved the world wrong.
And
that
also,
women
it
can
gives
work
you a
together.
sense of comfort when somebody, as an expat who's moving to UAE.
Yes.
Like, I didn't know where to do what. Even if
Yes.
I want to buy a pani puri ka puri, I didn't know
Yeah,
when I
yeah,
came.
exactly.
And I did post it in some of the group.
Yeah.
Where do I buy the puri from? And people
It's very
responded.
genuine questions, right? When
Yes,
you're settling
yes,
into
we
a new
don't know.
country,
We don't
because
know anything.
we're all expats here, and by virtue of it, we leave our friends and family behind in
True.
India. And when you're moving to a new world, you have a lot of questions.
Yes,
and
for
to be
sure.
honest, a lot of the growth now from IWD actually comes from people moving to Dubai. So
Yes.
we've seen the influx of people coming to Dubai in the last 2 years, right? And and a lot of the new requests that we get to the community are women are like, we're moving to Dubai in 2 months. I don't know where to go,
Yes.
where to settle. Can I ask those questions in the community? And we're like, yes, that's what the community is for, and everybody comes forward and helps.
True. I mean, honestly, as an expat, this is one of the best thing that you've done. Literally, from
Thank
like
you.
really, I
So
personally
sweet.
feel that this was something that was very much needed. And I remember I've been in UAE for a very long time, like since 2010. I've been coming on and off and everything. We never had anything like this, because my mom is a housewife, and she never had anyone, or she didn't have anywhere to post. She didn't have people to meet. But something like this back then would have also created a lot more impact. But now we have Indian women in Dubai who is always there as a community.
Yeah, and you would be, if you follow the journey of the group, you will be so impressed to see so many people have found friends in the group.
For sure.
So many
This
of
is
people
very
have found the right schools in the group, the right doctors in the group. So we are the hub of information, and I think we cover whether it's a social area or a business area. So
Yes.
many women have started their entrepreneurial journey with the group,
Yes.
right? So whether it's a
Do
social.
you want to share some some example or a case wherein like a woman really started an entrepreneur journey?
Lots of them, yeah.
And how did your community help that build more?
So I'll talk about our latest baby, Indian women entrepreneurs. We are getting to 3 months tomorrow. We're celebrating our 3
Congratulations
months
for that.
birthday. Thank you so much. And this little community is all about business women from UAE. These are women who are starting their second careers because they have taken a career break. And that's the issue with a
Yes.
lot of us women, right? Either we lose our jobs because we are moving countries, or
Yes.
our kids are there and we need to spend time home.
Yes.
So within 3 months of forming, we have more than 150 entrepreneurs on our community.
That's great.
Right? And these are all women who are coming together for coaching, growth, mentorship, and gaining from the IWD community, as well as selling back on the community, right? So they come and sell their products and services in the
You are
community.
giving them like a start base,
Yes.
which is like almost 20% of their journey.
Yeah.
Because that start is very difficult. When you have people supporting you, you've already achieved the 20% of your journey.
And then you find that support system to ask very basic questions like, we teach them on things like where to get the right business license, how to market yourself on Amazon,
That's like
what
the
is
most
Instagram
basic,
Reels,
yes.
very basic stuff that you need to do to start a very small business from home. And we're putting that community together where again women come and support each other. So it's not Reema, teaching them everything.
Yes, yes.
We actually bring in mentors from the industry who come and take master classes and teach these ladies. And that's just another example of how communities and women can benefit from IWD.
Yes. Reema, adding to this, I wanted to know like how important do you think as a housewife or somebody who has a corporate life, like for example, I am 9 to 5 person, but how important and how would you encourage a woman to have her own life beyond 9 to 5? Because I know after I got married, for the 2-3 years, I forgot about myself. I would even not put a face mask on.
Yeah.
So it's like I forgot.
Yeah.
And then later on, I realized that Reshma, your husband is not saying you anything. Okay, why is it in your mind that you have to give up just because you've seen your mom give up on everything?
Yeah.
So how do you think and how do you look at this and how do you encourage women to be strong and have our own personal space beyond husband and career?
So I think my only message to women is to prioritize themselves. And when we and why we say that is, if you believe in self-care, if you give yourself me time, you are such a much more happier person. And when a woman is empowered and happy, the whole family is empowered and happy. Right?
True.
I work, but I am, when I go back from work, I feel so happy to spend time with my kids, right?
Because you've achieved something.
Because I have an identity of myself.
Yes.
In addition to being a sister, a daughter-in-law, a mother, I am Reema, the entrepreneur, right?
Yes.
I'm Reema, the founder of IITian. And when I have my own identity, I think it makes me much more happier, safe, secure everywhere I go. Whether it's at home or abroad or outside the home, or when you're meeting your friends, when you're meeting your social circle, when you're meeting your work colleagues, right? So, and I think women often in the journey of caring for everybody that they care forget themselves.
Yes, and it's very important.
It's absolutely important, because I believe that you can spare 20 minutes for yourself every day and do a thing that you love. And it doesn't have to be what I love, it is what you love.
Yes.
So, if you like to paint, go spend 20 minutes
Even
painting.
learn.
You like to learn?
Yes.
Go spend 20 minutes
TV
learning.
is fine.
Yeah,
It's
that's
something.
okay. It's your me time, and you decide the way you do your me time. Nobody else has that right to say that you have to do this. And the rest of the 23 hours and 40 minutes, you're spending time for the family, right? You're spending time for the loved ones around you. And that's okay to give yourself 20 minutes. And I think the more women understand that little investment of 20 minutes, which is less than literally 1% of your day, makes you so much happier as yourself and your family.
True. After starting this community, do you feel changes in yourself and the way you look at things and people and approach to a problem? Do you feel evolved as a person?
Absolutely. I think I've learned a ton in the last 3 years, much more than I've learned in the 10 years of corporate life before that. I think I love the fact that we're making real impact.
True.
We are making ground level impact.
Yes.
I'm not sitting, in some AC cabin and doing a corporate job and writing some great Excel spreadsheets. I can see the impact bottoms up, right? Because I speak to these women every day. And I think, again, things like that I actually practice what I preach. So spending time for myself, spending time taking out, prioritizing myself, building a support system for myself so that I can work. I practice it at home.
Yes.
And I think sharing that journey with more and more women, even if one person, gets inspired by this and starts that journey, I feel that day is a win.
True.
And that year is a win, even if one person changes their lives and comes forward. So I think that's what we are on to.
How does your day look like?
Crazy.
Yeah, because I'm sure you have back-to-back meetings. You have to finalize all your plans.
Yeah.
You have to finalize your strategies. You have to mentor. You have to have your house life.
Yeah.
God, I want to know.
So I get a lot of support, I'll be honest. I outsource the things which I feel can be outsourced, and I try and spend time on things which I should be. So all the housework is outsourced to my nanny. She's excellent. I love her. And I think I have to thank her, because without having good nannies, women like us can't work. But my day is around my kids, my work, and my husband and my family. So, they're different chunks of it. And my exercise. So I'm like a fitness freak. So I would love to spend 1 hour on myself, whether it's I go for a walk every day or I exercise every day. I think it just keeps me not only physically fit but mentally fit also.
Correct.
So it's a mix of managing, and it's I love not doing a 9-to-5 job, because I keep it very flexible. So some days if I have a long day, I'll go and exercise in the morning. Today we had a late start, so I exercised from 1 to 2 o'clock, had my lunch, came here. But I have some strict routines, like I always basically try and get home by 7 o'clock and do bedtime with my kids.
Yes.
So it doesn't matter, even if I have had done 5 events in a day, by 7 o'clock, typically I would get home and spend that, golden hour with my kids before they go to bed. And that's kind of the best. So it's all about prioritizing and managing different things that you're trying to do.
Yeah. Anyways, women are known as multitaskers.
Yeah.
We are able to do like 20 million
Yeah.
things.
You see that photo, right? With a woman with 20 arms. I think that's true. We try to do that while I'm on the way. I'm trying to order groceries, and we do all of that stuff. But that's
Plus,
nice.
being a mother, you have a lot more demands from your kids. So that's additional responsibility, and that needs a lot of efforts. Like,
Yeah.
hats off to you, Reema. Honestly, I
No,
cannot
hats
imagine.
off to every woman
Yeah,
who,
for
who
sure.
follows her dream. Yeah, I think every job is difficult. Every path that you create for yourself is
Correct,
difficult.
correct.
I think I enjoy the little things every day instead of like setting big goals or whatever. But I just go with the flow, enjoy the journey.
Yeah. So, Reema, I want to know about your community. Like, if you have events, how do you manage that, and what does the process look like? Because I'm sure a lot of people want to know, like, what is your entire process? How do you finalize things, and how does it come into real?
Okay.
And what's the thought behind everything?
So, events specifically you want to talk about?
We can talk about in general,
Okay.
but specifically, I mean, we can talk more about the events because
Okay.
that's a crazier part.
Yeah.
Because I work for a brand, and honestly, if we have to do one event, there are like so many things
Yeah.
happening, and it takes a lot of time. So you managing and having events constantly, even with small number of people or the
Yes.
large, it's the same efforts, honestly.
Yeah.
It
Every
is the
event
same
is
effort.
important.
If it is 5 people or 200 people, it's the
Yes.
same effort that you need to put in.
Yes, absolutely.
So, what are your thoughts, and how does it all go about?
So I think I want to break that myth that before the event actually gets announced or comes on social media, there are hours of
Planning.
brainstorming and
Yes.
planning that has gone into it. I think
Yes.
people just see at the shelf that poster dal diya, so the event
Yes,
is there. No, there's so much that goes into brainstorming the event of why we are doing what we are doing, what are we trying to get out of that.
And what value that event is adding into
Exactly.
somebody's life is also important.
Exactly.
It shouldn't be like I'm coming there, but Reema did nothing. This is not a good event.
Why? And I never do events without a purpose. So we are very clear. At IWD, we basically have two categories of events. One is a social event. So the Diwali would be just a celebration of
Yes.
tradition in India. So we ask everybody to dress up in traditionals and come for Indian food. Ladies' night for me is like a social outing. The whole idea is to get dressed up, feel good, dance, drink, have fun with your
Yeah.
friends. But on the other hand, we also run this entrepreneurs community, right? So those are business events. So for example, Indian women on entrepreneurs conclave is our big event tomorrow. It's about 100 plus women entrepreneurs coming under one roof, discussing business trends. Now that event is a lot more hard work to put together.
Yes, for
right? We brought in industry panelists who are experts in the sector. So it takes a lot of effort to reach out to people, right people, make sure they're on board,
Yeah.
get the process sorted. So the event planning is, I think you can put together spreadsheets for it.
Yeah, it's a headache.
It's
That's
hard
what I'm
work.
telling. It's
It's
a
very
lot
hard
of hard work. Getting your panel on time,
Yeah.
getting your guests on time, having all the event setups done, getting all your attendees there. It's a task. It's
Yeah.
a teamwork that.
And I have to just thank my team.
Really?
I am blessed to have people in my life who just come forward selflessly to
How many
support
people
IWD.
are there behind
We have
IWD?
about 15 of my girls, I call them now, but right, we all met through IWD through the first event we did like 3 years ago. They just came forward and said, do you need any help for this? You're trying to do this. And I said, yes, I need help. And I think that's the message. You need to have a team in place.
Yes.
Now, I think we are so set in our ways that whenever we have a
Yeah.
big one, all 15 of them would come. And, we have our own roles.
Yeah.
Everybody knows what they are doing. And that's it. The
Reema,
event happens.
to add this, a lot of people have this misconception that it is difficult to work with women. It is difficult when it's just women around. There's just fights, cat fights. This
No.
is literally a lot of people say, like they
Yeah.
always keep on saying that women are the bad driver, and I'm like, shut up. I am much more better driver than you.
Much more safer than
Yes.
everybody else.
Yeah, I'll reach 10
right?
minutes late.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Exactly.
But in this way, working with just women, now since you've had your corporate life, do you feel the difference here and there?
I
Just
feel women are more dedicated. I
Much
feel
more
women much
organized.
more organized. We have delivered 500,000 people. In fact, Elan Modi, was like a 2,000 people, women only team we took there, right? No, I think women.
And also, there is no lot of ego.
Yeah.
This is a very misconception
Yeah,
people have.
absolutely
Women
not.
ego, she's going to judge you. No, please.
Please,
It's gone. It's gone. Those are the days
It's-
which
yeah,
is gone.
are the days, and I think
Yes.
women are very, very open to working together, to being in it together, and seeing it through together.
Yes, very true. Yeah, this is one misconception. Honestly, a lot of people have.
Yeah, I think our
Yes,
platform of 70,000 women together every day chatting and
Yeah,
doing
yeah,
it positively every day, I think proves all of those people
Yes,
wrong.
yes, for
Anybody
sure,
who still
for
thinks
sure.
women can't work together, please send them to IWD.
Yeah.
Let them watch the community for a few days and then they'll
Yeah.
tell us.
Yeah.
Basically. So I think that's definitely a
But then,
misconception.
also that It's been just 5 years, and Reema, hats off to you. Really, I cannot stop saying that. But in 5 years, this community is known by majority of Indian women in Dubai, UAE basically. So, which is like a great achievement, and I
Thank
really
you.
cannot wait of what's going to come ahead.
Bigger and better, yeah. I don't have a business plan, as they say. I've kind of gone with the flow, to be honest. I think, but I love the good things. We absorb all the good things and say, okay, we'll do it bigger and better. And if we need to change our path, we'll do that basically.
Yes,
and
yes.
we'll evolve
Whatever
as
is
everything
betterment
evolves.
for the community.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So
And
I think
if I, as a non-community member, joins the community, what do you think that I should look forward for?
I think you should not join the community just to learn. I think you should join the community to give back. Because the more you give back, and it's as simple as replying to somebody's question if you have the answer, right? It takes literally 2 seconds of your time.
Yeah.
But those 2 seconds are so much beneficial for everybody else in the whole community, right? So if you give back, you will get back from it. And you will get more information, more knowledge, more events, more fun together. And whenever you need the community will be there because you are an active member, right?
Correct.
So whenever an active member posts on the community, the posts are seen by a lot more people. You will notice a lot more people come and reply. Rather than if you are not replying and just reading, a lot
Just
of
on
people
silent.
just on silent, right? But then one day you might have a question.
And nobody will reply.
And then nobody
Very
will reply.
rarely there are chances that it reaches the right audience.
Yeah. So I think try and maybe just consider it your CSR to try and just reply to women on the community. Some of them come for emotional support. Some of them come for social support. Some of them just need general knowledge information kind of a thing. Why not? Just give your 2 minutes to them.
Yes. And along with this, I also know that you give a lot of social media strategy trainings as well on your social media, through Instagram. You keep on making a lot of videos. So I want to know, what is your take if suppose somebody else wants to start a community or a creator page? What is that one thing we should look forward to? And
You
how
should just
do we
do
start?
Yeah,
the most difficult
I
step.
can tell you can learn all the Instagram, take all the trainings in the world about what works on Instagram. You obviously need to know the basics of what is the reel, how does it work, or how does Instagram think about carousals versus pictures and all of that. You need that basic information. But I think the rest of it all comes from practice. It doesn't matter whether you are a creator, whether you want to start a community, whether you are a business person, whether you are a corporate girl just looking for personal branding, it doesn't matter why you want to be in the social media world. Everything comes from practice. There is no golden formula I can give to anybody and say, bas ye kar lo to chal jayega. It works differently for everybody. It works, obviously content is key.
Correct.
Right? Good content, original content, authentic content is the most important thing. You should have original events to talk about, original stories to share.
Yes.
And that's when it sells more, right? That's what people are more curious about. But a lot of it is about collaborations. It's all about consistency,
True.
right? And, content, collaborations, consistency, and then just practice doing it over and over again.
Yes.
Analyze what's working on your page, which reels did better than other, which
But
posts got
there
more
are times
engagement.
that you feel that my page is not growing in spite of putting in a lot of efforts, a lot of relatable content. How do you think we should overcome that?
So
Because
there,
I'm sure, did you have such time in your community building as well?
yeah. I think you get those times when you feel Instagram doesn't love me.
Yes,
I think everybody goes through, and I think they keep changing their algo every here and there, that you feel ki last week the same post had got such a good response and this week. So I think, and creator blocks is also a real thing, right? So if I'm posting, one day I will get exhausted and say, ab kya post karu? But I think you just have to stay steady. Just keep doing it. And one day you will find the reel has suddenly gone viral. And 1,000. I did a skydiving jump recently. And I was like, oh my God, I didn't expect the reel to go too viral. But it went viral. And people from Pink Villa picked it up. And a lot of others picked it up. But I just posted without expectations. And I think sometimes you just have to keep doing it.
Sometimes the less efforts you put in the reel, the better it does.
Yeah.
And sometimes if you spend hours in
that's
editing
what
the
I'm
reel,
saying.
it
There's no
doesn't do.
golden formula. It's about timings to a certain extent and about consistency. So keep doing it.
Yeah, that is true. And that is all everyone says, that just keep on doing it and one day you will get
One day
big,
something
yes.
will click. Something will click. Or you will find the right audience. And I think there's also this thing, right, ki kitne followers hain. It doesn't matter. People can have 100,000 followers and have bots.
Yes,
right?
yes, for
Or you
sure.
can have 1,000 followers, but really engaged real people who
Yes,
are interested in
yes.
your content. Now, which one would you prefer? Obviously, I prefer lesser people, but real people, basically.
Reema, I want to know that in this journey of being an entrepreneur mom, have you ever felt overwhelmed with a lot of things that's happening?
Always.
How do you manage that? Because when you have certain things going on and on and on, matlab, you just want to give up everything and just go to the jungle and stay. Literally, that's the feeling so many times you
No,
get.
so I think my answer to that is prioritize, and I think over time I do that a lot more. Like I don't work on weekends that
Yes,
much now.
yes.
I say no to weekend.
Yes,
I think you
I
also
see,
wanted
yes,
to
yes.
invite me on a weekend, and I will say that no. I think weekend is my family time, and I want
Yes,
to protect
yes,
it.
yes.
You prioritize that. Take holidays when I
But
go on.
not everyone can say no. That's also one of the biggest things.
Huh, but you have. I also couldn't never say no, but I have learned
Like
it
you
the
tell,
hard way. You see, either you
okay.
burn out or you say no. Which one would you want to choose for? Right. So I could, if I was working 7 days a week at the speed I work, the burnout is really real. It can come in less than 2 months.
And then with your entrepreneur and your community, there's no time.
No.
You can start your morning at 7 and end at night 10
You
o'clock
can
as
keep
well.
working till 12 in the night. Yeah, it
Yes,
doesn't
yes.
stop. My
It doesn't
WhatsApp
stop.
keeps buzzing all day. But then at some time you have to say, no, this is my kid's time. I'm not checking any messages from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m.
You need to be very strong
Yeah.
headed to prioritize things. You need to say no, and that is how you can stay on
Yeah, so
track.
like two things which I practice now at least is I don't take up work on the weekends unless it's like a VVIP thing, I really can't say no to. But if things can be moved, they get moved to Monday to Friday.
Fair enough.
And I usually don't take up any projects or events after between 7 to 9 p.m. I sometimes go to a party very late and go at 9 p.m. and once my kids are in bed. But 7 to 9 p.m. at least 6 days. So I'm allowed one night out by my kids. I have to take permission for that. So one night out is fine.
Correct.
But if I have to do a second one, it's a really negotiation between them and me. So 7 to 9 p.m. I don't pick up messages or I don't accept dinner invites. So I think you have to find your peace, and it might be a different thing for you versus anybody
Yes,
else,
for
right?
sure.
The priorities are different.
Priorities are different.
Life stages are different. But I think this works for me right now.
Yes.
And so to avoid burnout for anybody, you just have to find what gives you peace.
Correct. If there's one message that you want to really give women, what would it be?
Self-care.
Eh.
Prioritize yourself. Because if you are happy, the whole family is happy, and I think I genuinely believe in
And
that.
you stick by that.
And I stick by that, absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Reema, for coming in. You are like a mom entrepreneur. You are an inspiration to a lot of women on handling multiple tasks. वो काम की देवी नहीं कहते. Literally that you are.
Thank you, thank
and you
you.
radiate so much of positive energy and energy in general. So I know that there's a lot more to talk about. But it's been a wonderful talk, and I'm sure that this community will keep on building more entrepreneurs, connect more expats, okay? And it's a less lonely world with Indian women in Dubai, honestly.
Absolutely. We are here to make your world very colorful, however
Yes.
you want it. So thank you so much for having me. I really can't believe it just got over. It's like amazing talking to you, and love your energy, and wish you
you
all
so
the
much,
very, very
Reema.
best for the show.
Thank you so much, Reema. Thank you. Thank you so much guys for tuning into the Fat Kid Show, जहाँ हमने की बहुत सारी unfiltered गपशप। अगर आपको ये एपिसोड अच्छा लगा है, प्लीज सब्सक्राइब टू माय यूट्यूब चैनल, प्लीज फॉलो अस ऑन स्पॉटिफाई, एप्पल पॉडकास्ट एंड Amazon म्यूजिक। आई होप आपके लिए ये वाला एपिसोड काफ़ी इंसाइटफुल रहा होगा और आपने बहुत सारी बातें सीखी होगी। एंड डू नॉट फॉरगेट टू फॉलो मी ऑन Instagram. बाय।